Last time on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, we had a pair of $250,000 wins. A lot of money in theory, but I know we can definitely win a whole lot more tonight on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday night at Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Well, excuse me, boy, I had a burp right there. Yeah, we have won, well, so far over the first 4 episodes here, over $1.7 million. So we've had a lot of big money wins. Hopefully we can have even bigger big money wins. Incidentally, tonight, of course, tonight is our final show. Wait, no, it's not. No. I was going to say it's our final show of this current block of programs we've got here, but no, we still got one more week left to go. Oh, I'm drunk. But anyway, no, in all seriousness, whether it's the final episode or not, let's get into it right away and win a whole lot of money. So, here's how this show is going to, well, here's how it works. We are just 9 questions away from winning $1 million in cash. We have got 3 lifelines left, 50-50, ask the audience, and we can switch the question. If you want to log on at home and play with us, log on to rvn.com, click on the Game Shows tab, and go for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then you'll see there how to enter in. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, we can use up to the $32,000 mark our celebrity Googler as much as we want to because, you know, this is just like the celebrity editions of the show pretty much. So, yeah, if we're ready to go. Audience, are you ready to play? And let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Now, this question's for $4,000. Shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. Which household appliance is the name James Dyson associated? Vacuum cleaner, dishwasher, toaster oven, radio. That is vacuum cleaner. Final answer. Got it for $4,000. Now this is for $8,000. Who provided John Smith's voice in Disney's Pocahontas? Brad Pitt, Mel Gibson, John Hurt, Matt Damon. Well, I can guess, I think, but let me just see. Pocahontas cast. Mel Gibson, that's who I thought it was. Wait, hold on. John Smith, yeah. Okay, final answer, Mel Gibson. Got it for $8,000. It's for $16,000. Cachon is the French word for what animal? Rabbit, pig, dog, cow. I believe it was a pig. Final answer. Got it for $16,000. We are on a roll. Here we go for $32,000. Ossification means the formation of what? Bone, wood, hair, stone. I want to say it's bone because osteo, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's bone, so ossification. Yeah, exactly, so I guess our answer is confirmed correctly. Go with bone. Final answer. Got it for $32,000. Alrighty, well, we can only use Googler once from this point forward. So here it is for $64,000. In which city did the poet John Keats die? Copenhagen, Brussels, Rome, Vienna. We're going to use the 50-50. Okay, computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving us with just 1 wrong answer and the correct one. Ding. Brussels or Rome? I'm just going to go for it and say Rome. Final answer. Beep, beep, beep. Got it for $64,000. It's for $125,000. No. There we go. Which of these is the leading U.S. state in growing coffee? Georgia, Florida, California, Hawaii. Well, I have it narrowed down between 2. I think it's either Florida or Hawaii. I'm almost positive, actually, that it's Hawaii. Let's try it. Hawaii. Final answer. And if we lose, I'll take blame. Got it for $125,000. Come on, hit it. Oh, geez, Louise. There. There we go. This is for $250,000. What Motown group were formed as the Supremes? The Ronettes, the Primettes, the Roxettes, the Marvelettes. Well, the Ronettes, I think, are a completely separate group. When I first saw the question and the answers pop up, I thought it was the Roxettes. Or the Roxettes, however you want to say it. Gosh, but, well, I was only risking half of my money, but now it's $93,000, way more than just half. So I think I'm going to ask the audience just to be safe. Okay, audience, we need your help. On your keypads using A, B, C, or D, vote now. Oh my goodness. Well, 35% said the Primettes, 34% said the Ronettes. Well, I think just based on my thoughts and my feelings, I'm going to go with the majority. It's a very slim majority, but the Primettes, final answer. Got it for $250,000. Boy, just 2 questions away from winning $1 million. 2 lifelines left. Here it is for $500,000. What is the Danish name for Denmark? Danmark, Denmarka, Dangeld, Danska. Again, I've never had such feelings about a question just pop out randomly all of a sudden. I think when I first saw the question and the answers pop up, I thought A, Denmark. But we're risking $218,000 on that though, for something I don't really know. So we're going to use Googler. What is the Danish name for Denmark? There you go, I was right. So we basically wasted a lifeline, but oh well. Denmark. Final answer. Did it for $500,000. Whoa, baby. We've only gotten to this point one other time this season. I think it was with Switch the Question. So here it is for $1 million. Who was made an honorary NYPD detective at a Madison Square Garden concert in 2002? David Bowie, Billy Joel, Paul McCartney, Bono. Well, the obvious answer would be Billy Joel, just because, the amount of times he's performed there. All the other ones don't make any sense. I don't know why I would go with anything else, because Bono, he's in Ireland. I mean, what connection does he have to New York City? David Bowie and Paul McCartney, they're both British. What kind of significance do they have to New York City? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to say B, Billy Joel. Final answer. No way! Are you serious? Why would Paul McCartney be... Why? PD Detective. Oh, pole dancing video. Yeah, we're not going to watch that. Madison Square Garden, 2002. Paul McCartney! Oh, okay, I understand now. I understand. I see why, but that still doesn't make any sense. Billy Joel is known for performing there. I mean, so, obviously, can you really blame me for going for that? Well, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Gosh. Welcome back, everybody. We're still recovering from that. That is just, when you think you know it, and you think the answer is just so obvious, it turns out it's not that obvious at all, believe it or not. So yeah, I'm pretty sure though, 90% of you guys watching us at home probably would have went with Billy Joel, just because of his, significance to the Madison Square Garden. He's performed there so many times. I think it would have only made sense. So yeah. So sorry, Paul McCartney. But anyway, we'll get over it. Still plenty of time to win $1 million yet this season. So let's start a brand new game. Let's play. Here we go. Once this ad clears out. Here we go. This is for $100. Which of these creates a foam when added to hot water? Bubble gum, bubble bath, bubble wrap, bubble and squeak. That is bubble bath. Final answer. And we're right for $100. Here we go now for $200. Which biblical character built an ark to escape from the flood? Excuse me. Abraham, Isaac, Noah, Moses. That is Noah. Final answer. And we got it for $200. Here we go now for $300. Which of these U.S. states is landlocked? Oregon, Louisiana, New Hampshire, Arkansas. That is Arkansas. Final answer. Got it for $300. Here we go now for $500. Which single letter is used as a chemical symbol? O, A, E, G. That is O. Final answer. Got it for $500. Here we go now for $1,000. Which of these is a hoisting or lifting device? Block and tackle, block and scrum, block and foul, block and kick. So hoisting or lifting device. Block. Okay, that's of no help to me. Alright, I'll just do that. A, final answer. Got it for $1,000. There we go for $2,000. Which of these sizes for clothes is not common use as a Roman numeral? S, M, L, XL. That is S. Final answer. Got it for $2,000. It's for $4,000. Which volleyball term means to hit the ball downwards into the opponent's court? Dig, block, dump, spike. That is spike. Final answer. Got it for $4,000. We are on a roll. Here we go now for $8,000. Which of these countries consists chiefly of a North Island and a South Island? Australia, Japan, Indonesia, New England. Okay. Narrowed it down to 2. Let's see. Which country has a North Island and a South Island? New Zealand, that's what I thought. Final answer. Or that was one I had narrowed it down to. We got it for $8,000. Oh, this is for $16,000. The court game pelota was named for a Spanish word meaning which of these objects? Ball, racket, basket, bat. Pelota in Spanish. Ball. Final answer. Got it for $16,000. There we go, 6 away from winning $1 million. Which Brazilian city has the largest population in South America? Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Brasilia, Lima. Oh, it's got to be either A or C, I think. Which city has the largest population in South America? Sao Paulo. Oh, it's not. Okay. I'll believe him. Final answer. Got it for $32,000. Thank God we looked that one up. Here we go. I'm doing great. Let's go for $64,000. What relation was the late singer Whitney Houston to Dionne Warwick? Sister-in-law, niece, daughter, cousin. Well, I've narrowed it down to 2. That's all I'm going to say. So we're going to use the 50-50. Okay, computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving us with just 1 wrong answer and the correct one. Sister-in-law and cousin. Well, she was married to Bobby Brown at one point. Was he related to, or is he related, that's what I should say, to Dionne Warwick? I don't think so. I'm going to say cousin. Final answer. Got Got it for $64,000. Woo! Okay, well, that 50-50 was successful. We are just 4 away from winning $1 million. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Do not go anywhere, please. Welcome back, everybody. Well, let's continue on here with our game. We are just 4 questions away from winning $1 million in cash. We still have 3 lifelines left. We can ask the audience, switch the question, and use our Googler. So, here it is for $125,000. Let's play. For $125,000. How many months were there in the Roman calendar? 6, 8, 10, 12. Well, I have no clue, so we're going to have to ask the audience. Okay, audience, we need your help. On your keypads using A, B, C, or D, vote now. Whoops, sorry. Well, 37% said 10 and 36% said 6. That is quite the closeness. Well, there's a better majority on C, so I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to go with C, 10, final answer. Got it for $125,000. There we go. $250,000. Let's do it. Rioja is a wine from which country? Italy, France, Spain, Germany. I'm almost positive it's Italy. Well, it's either Italy or Spain, but I feel more confident in Italy because that's where more of like a food and drink type thing. I mean, Spanish, we'll go with Italy. Final answer. Oh, it was Spain. Dang, we've risked it I don't know how many times, and we have lost a whole lot of money. In fact, 468 plus 93, we've lost over $500,000 worth tonight on guessing, because we assumed we knew what it was. Gosh, well, we still won $32,000. That's not too shabby. But let's try again. Here we go for $100. What is the name given to the cards dealt to an individual player in one round of a card game? Hand, foot, arm, leg. That is hand. Final answer. And he got it for $100. We got it, I should say. For $200. Which of these is a type of shark? Chiselhead, hammerhead, sawhead, screwdriver head. That is hammerhead. Final answer. And we got it for $200. Here we go now for $300. Which of these is a weight category in boxing? Destroyer weight, frigate weight, cruiserweight, dinghy weight. That is cruiserweight. Final answer. And we're right for $300. Here we go now for $500. Which of these cities was founded by Mormons? Philadelphia, Salt Lake City, Miami, Dallas. That is Salt Lake City. Final answer. And we got it for $500. Here we go now for 1,000. The world's population reached what figure in 2011? 2 billion? 4 billion? 5 billion? 7 billion. That is 7 billion. Final answer. And we got it for $1,000. Here we go. We're going for $2,000. A collection of different songs performed as a continuous piece is known as what? Hodgepodge, assortment, jumble, medley. That is a medley. Final answer. We got it for $2,000. Hold on. We got an ad. It's for $4,000. What is the capital of Taiwan? Saigon, Seoul, Beijing, Taipei. Well, I would assume it's Saigon. Okay, no, it's Taipei. Final answer. Got it for $4,000. It's for $8,000. Which of these is a city in Saudi Arabia? Alexandria, Islamabad, Jeddah, Dakar. Cities in Saudi Arabia.
Cities, towns, villages frequently mentioned on the web include Riyadh,
Okay,
Dammam,
this
Medina,
says
and
Jeddah,
others.
but that one doesn't have an H on the end, and this one does. Although I'm not seeing any of the other ones on there, so I think I'm going to go with Jeddah. Final answer. Got it for $8,000. Woo! Boy, that scared me because it said Jeddah, and it's got, you know, the H on the end, but it didn't say it there, so I was just like, But it looks like it's the second most populated. There's no pictures of all the other ones that might have like 6 figures on them, which I find quite interesting, but damn. Damn, ma'am. Oh my. I could get a kick out of that, I'm not gonna lie. Hail? What the hell? Well, there's the hail over there. Oh, God, this is gonna get this video taken down. This episode. It's got to be taken off the air for the exact same reason. Well, exactly because of that. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. Well, we've had quite the game so far here on our night of game shows here on RVN. Of course, we've got game shows all night long. Coming up next year after this show, we've got Sale of the Century, then later at 9:30 Arcadium, and then at 10 o'clock Wheel of Fortune. So definitely be here for all those shows. Okay. Well, we are just 7 questions away from winning $1 million. So, if we're ready to do this, let's play. Here we go for $16,000. Hold on, we got an ad. It's for 16. Oh, God, then I did that. Damn it. Hang on. Okay. There we go. Now we'll have the question pop up here. Joanne Woodward was the longtime wife of what actor? Burt Reynolds, Humphrey Bogart, Robert Redford, Paul Newman. Well, I know it's not Robert Redford. I'm assuming, honestly, it's Burt Reynolds. Joanne Woodward. Paul Newman. Okay. Final answer then. Got it for $16,000. It's for $32,000. What was the last state to join the U.S. before Alaska and Hawaii joined in 1959? Arizona, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico. And that is a good question. I'm not going to lie with you. That is a great question. One I don't know, but what was the 48th state to join the United States? Arizona. Okay, I believe you. Arizona. Final answer. Got it for $32,000. There we go. We're doing good so far. Let's go for $64,000. What is the real first name of the singer Van Morrison? John, Paul, George, Ringo. Okay. It can't be Ringo. No way. Well, John kind of shot out at me when the question and the choices popped up. I'm going to use the 50-50. Okay, computer, please take away 2 of the wrong answers, leaving us with just 1 wrong answer and the correct one. Oh, there you go. Paul or George? You know what? George, I think, just popped out at me now, so we've got nothing to lose, so we're going to go with George. Final answer. Got it for $64,000. There we go. Here we go for $125,000. Hold on, I gotta. Which of these sports takes place on a peace day? Polo, archery, fencing, curling. I don't know why I said it in that order. I just did. Peace Day, I think that's got something to do with the winter. I'm almost positive. And that would mean that it's curling. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Curling. Final answer. Ah, crap. Dang it. I thought, well, what is a peace day in Spanish? Peace day in Spanish.
In Spanish, you would
No,
say,
you
Quédate.
dummy. Oh, well, that still doesn't help. Okay, well, my fault, I guess. We'll try it again. Here we go for $100. Which of these things can turtles do? Fly, lay eggs, speak English, collect tax. That is lay eggs. Final answer. And we're right for $100. Here we go now for $200. Which of these is an explosive device thrown by hand? Bullet, grenade, rocket launcher, sparkler. That is a grenade. Final answer. And we're right for $200. Here we go now for $300. The flowers of the herb chamomile are often used to make which sort of beverage? Tea, lemonade, ginger ale, wine. I'm chamomile. Oh my god. Okay, it pulled up what I wanted and then it went to that. Iced tea. Final answer. Got it for 300. Here we go for 500. My goodness. What was the name of Robin Hood's female companion? Daisy, Rose, Marion, Margot. Robin Hood's female companion. Marion. Final answer. Got it for 500. Here we go now for 1,000. Don King is best known as a promoter of which sport? American football, boxing, motor racing, snooker. Well, I do indeed know this. It is boxing. Final answer. And we got it for $1,000. Well, 10 questions away from winning $1 million. When we come back, let's see if we can make it all the way to the top and hopefully win $1 million. Stay tuned. Please, 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 do not go anywhere. Woo! Sounded like I just barked like a dog there. You understand what I mean, I think. Welcome back, everybody, to the final part of tonight's episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Well, let's get back into it. 10 questions away from winning $1 million. Here we go. Let's play. Okay, for $2,000. What does the name Rio de Janeiro mean? River of January, River of the Kings, River of Light, River of Hope. I think it's River of January, but... What does Rio de Janeiro mean? Okay, this is not helpful. Okay, alright, that's what... I was right, but, I didn't want to risk $1,000 on it being wrong. Jeez Louise. Final answer. In fact, technically, we weren't really risking anything, but we got it right for $2,000. Here we go for $4,000. What is the penultimate letter of the modern English alphabet? B, M, Y, Z. That is Y. Final answer. Got it for $4,000. This is for $8,000. Which island country was formerly called Ceylon? Iceland, Madagascar, Taiwan, Sri Lanka. Let's look it up. Ceylon. Sri Lanka. There you go. Final answer. Got it for $8,000. Da, 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 da. It's for $16,000. Kachong is the French word for which animal? Rabbit, pig, dog, cow. That is pig. Final answer. Got it for $16,000. There we go. This is for $32,000. Which breed of cow gives the most milk? Holstein, Guernsey, Brown Swiss, Jersey. I don't know. Let's phone a friend. Okay. Holstein, final answer. Got it for $32,000. Boy, we're speeding right along now. Here it is for $64,000. What color is a polar bear's top coat? Tan, white, transparent, gray. Is this a trick question here, or... I'm going to use the 50-50 here. Shoot, okay. Apparently it isn't as obvious as we thought it was here. I want to say transparent because there's no gray on them anywhere on their bodies. I'm assuming their top coat is like where their back is. So I'm going to assume, God almighty, I hope it's right. I'm going to go with gray. Final answer. Oh my, are you serious? Well, that's about all we won tonight is $32,000. Oh my goodness, you know. Oh, there you go. That means we are out of time for tonight. So tonight, we won a total of $128,000, which, don't get me wrong, is a lot of money. But, yeah, so when we add it to the money we have won so far this season, that is a grand total of $1,916,000. So, yeah, a whole lot of money. Well, we will be back here Thursday night. I'm thinking it'll be before Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, but if not, it'll be at our regularly scheduled Thursday time of 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you join us for that. I'm hoping to be broadcasting those games, although I'll be up in Minnesota. So, yeah, I think feasibly I still could. So, yeah, let's hope so. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you all next time. Good night.